Find pivot index. In this problem, we're given an array of integers nums, and we need to calculate the pivot index of this array. The pivot index is the index where the sum of all the numbers strictly to the left, so not including the number which we're currently on, or the pivot number, is equal to the sum of all the numbers strictly to the right of that index's numbers right. And also, if the index is on the left edge of the array, then the left sum is 0. So in other words, the sum to the left of the very first element is 0, and this also applies to the right side of, or the right edge of the array. So at the last element, the right side, the right sum is 0. And if no pivot exists, then we need to return -1. So in example 1, at position 3, so this is 0, 1, 2, and then 3. The left sum is 3 plus 7 plus 1, which is 11, and the right sum is 5 plus 6, which is 11, which means 6 is our pivot number, but it's at index 3, so we need to return 3. So this is how we're going to solve it. We're going to iterate through the numbers of our nums array for int I equals to 0, as long as I is less than nums dot length I plus plus. Within our for loop, we're going to instantiate some variables, because with each iteration we want to reset them. And so the variables that we're going to create are int x, which is equal to I, int y, which is equal to I, int left sum, which is equal to 0, and int right sum, which is also equal to 0. So here's the plan. We have int x and int y equals to I. Int x is going to track all the elements to the left of the current index which we're on, and index y is going to do the same, but for the right side. What we're going to do is, for each element I, we're going to check as long as x minus 1 is not out of bounds, then we're going to update our left sum to be equal to left sum plus the values before position I. And the same thing for y. As long as y plus 1 does not exceed nums.length, we're going to take our right sum and update it to be equal to the value of right sum plus the values to the right of our current index. So this may sound a bit vague, so bear with me. Let's begin coding. So while x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, then we're going to update our left sum to be equal to left sum plus nums at x minus 1. And then we need to decrement our x. And then similarly for the right sum, while y plus 1 does not exceed the length of nums.length, then right sum is going to be equal to right sum plus nums at y plus 1, and we need to increment our y plus plus. Now after this, we just need to check if left is equal to right, and if it is, then we return I. Otherwise, if we successfully terminate our for loop without returning anything, then we need to return -1. So let's go through an example. We start at I equals to 0, so x is 0, y is 0, left sum and right sum are both 0. While 0 minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, -1 isn't, so we're going to skip this while loop. While y plus 1 is less than nums.length, we're going to take our right sum, which is initially 0, and add to it nums at y plus 1. Y is 0, so y plus 1 is 1. We're going to take nums at 1, which is 7, and add it to our right sum, and then we're going to increment y, and then we're going to check, is 1 plus 1 less than nums.length? Yes, it is. So the same thing, now we're going to take our right sum, which is equal to 7, and add to it 3. And we're going to keep doing this until we exceed the length of nums.length. And then we're going to get the right sum equal to 7 plus 3, which is 10, 10 plus 6, which is 16, 16 plus 5, which is 21, 21 plus 6, which is 27. And then we're going to check, is left equal to right? No, it's not, since left is 0. So then we increment our I to be equals to 1. So now I is looking here. With the same logic, we're going to check left sum after going through our while loop is going to be equal to 1. Our right sum is going to be equal to the sum of these numbers, which are not the same, so we're going to increment I again. We're now here. Our left sum is 8, our right sum is this, which are not, or are these, which are not equal to each other, so we're going to increment again. Now our left sum is 11, and our right sum is also 11. Is left equal to right? Yes, it is, so we return I, which is 3. So let's submit our code and see if it works. Small typo, we called our variables left sum and right sum, not left and right. So let's submit again. And there we go. So that was the find pivot index problem on LeetCode. I hope you found that video helpful, and thanks for watching.